Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. A hot episode of Inside Star Citizen. Yesterday, they're talking about tractor beams, and I gotta confess, salvage is looking good as a profession, a lot better than where I've expected to be at this point in time, but coming soon, there's a lot of very cool features coming in. Let's watch some clips and then talk about what's happening. Exciting stuff. Watch. Hot forest action.
The current state of the tractor beam is already in a...
The hull A. So here they are offloading a vulture, going to the hull A. Pretty much what we know is happening with tractor beams already. Nothing very special there, but it's about to get much cooler. Exciting future.
So where do we want to take tractor beams? We would like to introduce more variances to the FBS tractor beam that you're seeing. So right now you only have the multi-tool that has the tractor beam attachment.
Right.
So we would like to have a dedicated tool, maybe even upgraded version to the tractor beam attachment. So you might have...
Hot. All right, so that's obviously heavy weapon sized. I'm guessing you have to wear heavy armor or at least a backpack to put that on. And you talked about attachments which can also go onto that. So what will the attachment do? I'm guessing further length, further distance, and girth, further distance, and possibly more weight that you can lift with it. I know you want to talk about the scene that's coming up next here, but let's first admire the craftsmanship on this beautiful tractor beam, a large one, which I'm guessing will take up either your whole back. I don't know if you can carry that and a sniper rifle on your back. I'm guessing it takes up all the slots. We'll see, but it is very, very cool looking. How heavy of things can you move? Is this the science of it going to blow some people's minds? How heavy of an object are you supposed to be able to move with this is the question. So we know with a normal handheld one we have right now, there's a certain, what do you say, 36 SCU? You can move 36 SCUs, but the large one, what, at least double? Sure, I say that's fine, but let's see what they have in mind.
There's also the tractor beam in regards to the salvage gameplay.
This is nice. All right, so they're talking about the SRV here, which is the tow truck of Star Citizen. Hasn't come in the game yet, but was sold a while ago. This ship, in my opinion, is going to get a lot of use. And I'm going to make a reference to Elite Dangerous. And in Elite Dangerous, they have a group called the Fuel Rats. Now, what happens in Elite Dangerous is to jump from system to system, you run out of fuel eventually, but to refuel, you need to skim along the surface of certain stars. And if you don't have that star in the system, you run out of fuel. And a common, well, no, is it still common? I haven't played in many years. But it was very common to run out of fuel on your adventures. And when that happens, you call in a bunch of players named the Fuel Rats, and they'll come and transport fuel to you, which is a whole game loop they invented by themselves. And I can see this working well in Star Citizen, not in the fuel rat type gameplay, but also tow trucks, space tow trucks, AAA of space. Yes, that works. Where you'll be stranded, and it's going to happen. Stanton right now is a small system, but as we go to Pyro and further, those are very, very large systems, and there will be coming points in time where you will run out of fuel, at which point you have to call someone to refuel you, or if you've taken damage to the point where you cannot fly the ship, your engines are damaged, you have to call in a tow truck. So the SRV pilots are going to have a ball, and here we have imagery of that happening.
Example, there's the SRV, for example, that has its full purpose to be to tow ships. So you basically have...
So hot. Now I'm wondering if once you engage the tow beam, the tractor beam, if you rotate, does the ship or the craft that you're towing rotate with you? Is that what they're showing here? Does it happen automatically?
A stranded ship that you attach to and then move around. But what we also want to have there is some ships might have...
I like it. All right, this clip here. First of all, the only tractor beam you can use on a person is if that person is unconscious or dead. Using a tractor beam right now on a living person does not work. So this is a concept idea. Will they maybe introduce in the future a dedicated bounty hunter ship with a tractor beam that does this? Or is this just an idea they're throwing out in the wild to see if it may or may not work? Because if you can tractor any living NPC or player, that's going to be a lot of griefing. There will have to be some sort of way where you can prevent a player from using a beam on you. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster, in my opinion. But anyway, they're showcasing here just for the idea of it. Let's see if it even happens in the game or not.
Use the tractor beam to hold that person in place, that the person cannot escape. And
as far as bounty hunting goes, that'll be awesome if you have a dedicated bounty hunter ship that has this particular beam. But then, can you just pick up anyone at any time? I don't know. Maybe if you get a crime stat, if you do it, same as shooting someone, maybe it can work. Give me your thoughts below. Like, what do you think? Can they introduce a personnel bounty hunting beam that will lift up a player like that and put them in holding? Definitely a cool feature if you're playing the bounty hunter loop, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, next clip here. I know a lot of controversy. Let's see.
Like, you at least could be able to grab a small Aurora or Nox or something small. So
grab a small Aurora or Nox? No, thank you. First of all, the science behind it makes no sense unless the tractor beam creates a warp bubble which reduces the mass of the object inside that bubble. There was a Star Trek episode which they did that to reduce the mass of a moon. Star Trek nerds back me up on this. But I don't know if that's the direction they're going. Now, I can understand that the larger tractor beam having more power, but to capture an Aurora out the sky like that, a bit of a stretch. Smaller vehicles like the motorcycles, like the Nox, yeah, why not? Again, as part of a bounty hunter loop, being able to stop someone from escaping, I like it. But a ship the size of Aurora, I don't know.
It's like, it makes sense that you are able
and then
to
slam it into the trees.
Tiny vehicle or tiny
ship. I like
it.
Next clip here is pulling pieces of ships, particularly the weapons and components. This is important.
This feature is basically item stripping. So you detach items from
flying around, come across a wreck. Now, at the moment, when you find a wreck, you can strip the hull, that's it. But what if that wreck has weapons and things which are pretty cool that you can actually use yourself? Your ship uses size 1s, grab the size 1s off that. You have some spare weapons. Missiles, even more important. Let's not even begin theory crafting about Jumptown. Now you have a bunch of ballistas which are protecting the area. Your ballistas are using up all their torpedoes. You're out. How do you restock? There's no way to restock at Jumptown. But if your buddy comes along with a bunch of missiles and torpedoes in his ship, take them off the ship, put them back onto the ballistas. Perfect.
Certain ports, or you or more use in like riddles that are done by the level design teams.
Once the vehicle is soft depth or unlocked, you're going to be able to, with a tractor beam, find all the good guns and modules like shield generators or life supports or whatever, detach them.
You know, there's never a time where you don't need more of these weapons, especially if there's a difference. Say you have ballistics and you want lasers, and you find a wreck with the lasers. Grab them, stick them in inventory. This is great. I like it. Next clip here is component stripping. So again, same as with the weapons.
Those weapons.
Your ship may have a certain class of shield, but say you find a wreck or a crashed ship which has a better shield component. Rip it out that ship. Throw it in your ship, you're good to go. You don't have to go to some Lagrange point to find some weapon that you may or may not need. Those are useless. Don't collect those. You don't need them. But I love the fact that you find a wreck. It may have a component which is an upgrade from the one you have already. No need to go spend money buying it or flying around for hours trying to find where it can be bought or sold. Just grab it off the ship. I love it. Forget about going shopping and buying stuff now. You can just find it in game. There are no shortage of wrecks, and especially when there's an event, there's a lot of PvP and ships are getting soft death and blown up. Fill up your cargo with stuff from those ships, which will be lying around. So, yeah, I gotta say, salvage is really outstripping, which is a great word to use for this, what mining is. And it just slots in, yeah, connects. Very cool idea here. Different mining heads. Now, different mining heads can specialize for different jobs. You no longer have to pick one and just to sit and suffer with it. You can carry multiple mining heads now and attach them on the go.
You can exchange the mining head on the fly. Not only the mining head you will be able to detach and attach, but also the sub-items attached to the mining head.
Amazing.
So if you have, for example, a brand module that just depleted and you have a spare one with you, just grab your tractor beam, pull it out of the cargo hold and attach it again to the mining head, so you restocked your...
It's adding I don't want to say it's like another game loop or something, but just the realism of it. Oh, I have to go out and have to change a cartridge. I have to change something on the mining head. You have to go out. You have to EVA, put that on, grab the other one. It's really getting deep now. Beautiful imagery there. Look how beautiful that is. Does it look good to you too? Amazing.
Gun, and you move your mouse left, right, the gun will rotate this way always. Before, rotating was very tricky. Now it's a bit more intuitive, at least from my perspective.
Because we also did salvage with the same concept as we did mining with the sub-items and so on. Yes, you will also be able to detach the sub-items. If the item lying in front of you, you pull out the item from the socket and you attach the new one. So I'm really looking forward to what you will come up with. So right now we are not trying to limit it too much. We might reconsider that once we see you like bringing
some light humor and closing it off there. I see the Jawa gameplay coming in. You leave your ship or your vehicle parked somewhere, and someone comes and strips off your parts and flies off with them. And now you have to pay money to get parts back. So nice touch there, and definitely, as he said, opening up a lot more game loops. I'm dying to see where this goes. Very exciting stuff. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on what you've seen so far on the upgraded and new tractor beam related game loops. Post below. Always interested to hear your thoughts on that. Give me a thumbs up if you like my video. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.